Attention. Go.
So the Wargrave Challenge Cup, London Rowing Club against Barbarians Rowing Club from Australia. Women's eights. We've got the London Rowing Club on the Berkshire station to the left of your picture. They're getting a little bit close, and a flag goes up immediately from the umpire to get the Barbarians back towards the Buck station. They're not responding especially quickly, so the umpire keeps his flag, indicating that the Australians need to get back to their side of the water.
Yeah, that's a bold move by the Australian cocks there, but it does put the other crew on the Berkshire station under a bit of pressure, and forces them over to the boys and the booms on that side. But it's a very bold move because it's
you think that was deliberate rather than unintentional?
Well, it's I mean, it's not for me to call, but Cox is definitely, they control the steering and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and these bigger boats take a bit more shifting, don't they? Presumably, you're less likely to drift in a bigger boat than when we see the singles. They could very easily meander. Yeah,
absolutely. But it is tough when you get that water that's, particularly after the rain, pouring off the end of that island. It will push you across a little bit. So as the cocks, you almost need to be compensating straight out of the blocks. And being from Australia, maybe not aware for that, but also potentially, my day, I've perhaps moved a little bit over that side of the course.
Bit of gamesmanship.
But rowing is an outdoor sport.
Pushing the boundaries. Right, we're up live, and now you can see the boat that's taking control on the Buck station, and it's settling down nicely, this race, for the Barbarians, the Australians.
Yeah, so this is a real mix of Australian international junior international rowers for Australia, under 21s and under 23s, kind of getting together to have a race at Henley. So a lot of pedigree in this boat from Australia.
Really lovely, the cocks. And now London Rowing Club with work to do here. Blue and white of London Rowing Club. A length down this early stage of the race. Is that repairable?
I think it's very, from here, anything can happen at Henley. Like we said, anything can happen at Henley, even in this position. London Rowing Club veterans of rowing this course. Australia, relatively new. A lot of inexperience in this boat. Okay, good, junior international experience, but never have raced in Henley before. But they do have a very commanding lead. They look to be rowing very long, very strong, very upright. Where London look to be fighting, but maybe looking a bit tired. A bit tired at this stage of the race.
Yeah, battling it a little bit. That early move at Temple Island was so interesting. The move from the Australians to just get across the water. Here we are live further down the course, and it remains as is. So the Australians enjoying the better of this one. London Rowing Club with plenty of work to do, and this Australian boat has got really lovely, the cocks I mentioned, Posey, Alton, Lucas, Parker, Lutz, Robinson, Williams, and Izzy Drew in the bow seat, you can see.
Very, very young crew. I think the oldest person in the crew is 26 versus, a slightly more experienced London crew that they're racing. And for Australia, what stands out is this is their first Henley experience for almost every single one of those girls in that boat. So coming all the way over from Australia, where you've been shut down for the last couple of years, this must be a fantastic experience for them.
Yeah, it's a real adventure for them. And how much of an advantage is it if you're London Rowing Club, for instance, you can get out here at weekends and have a little practice, a few pilot runs down the course, whereas clearly if you're coming over from Australia, these unique conditions are going to be very challenging.
Yeah, it swings both ways. I always used to love racing at Henley because I felt like I knew this was my home course. I felt like I knew every inch of the river, every breadth of wind, and I could tell you exactly what was going to happen. So it was great. But also, when you go to a new venue, it creates that excitement, that specialness, that sometimes brings something unique out of you. And also, if you've never been to Henley before, you're rowing down the enclosures here. Like, how often do you see that at any other regatta in the world? This is the greatest regatta on the planet.
I'm pretty sure the 8 in that Barbarians boat would agree with you right now. This will be a very enjoyable moment for them. Cox coaxing into the finish line. Well done to the Australian boat. Over the line, victory for them. On they go. And London Rowing Club finishing the job. You can hear there, Cox there, Julia Norton, making sure they worked right to the end. Barbarians beating them.